let him pray, let him pray. Jackass, jump and pray, let him pray, let him pray. Now I tell you in a positive way, don't tie me donkey down there. Cause me donkey will romp and play, don't tie me donkey down there. Hey! Jackass will jump and pray, let him pray, let him pray. Jackass will jump and pray, let him pray, let him pray. What's he getting now? Jackass will jump and pray, let him pray, let him pray.
Well, before we get back to the action, here's some of the memories that I really enjoy watching over and over again. It's just hard to believe we've had a great life, and I'm always amazed how well videos and DVDs allow us to share it. Anyway, join us for a couple of minutes. Then we'll get back to the action. All right, looks like it's starting to rain. This isn't the plane that had the battery still attached while it was flying, is it? And you know what I did on a video? I said, there's Phil Spillman flying a plane. Poor Phil's gonna kick my butt. Phil's gonna be mad in hell.
There's somebody as stupid as me.
Oh! Don't feel bad, Johnny Dunk. Nobler with an APC prop. That is a nice dedication. And we are currently working on having a nice...
Oh yeah. This is what you're lighting airplane.
Yeah, it's a cool plane.
I don't think so, but I don't know. How was that pizza pie, Nick?
You better eat something. You look like you're losing weight.
Oh my gosh.
You look like you're losing weight. Hey, this plane have a windy bell crank in it?
Oh my God.
Oh, okay. So you're going for that Foxburg racing or something?
No, I'm trying to slow it down a little. I bought some 10.
Yeah, John has some 4-pitch props.
Yeah,
sure.
that's where I got that one that's on there is a 5, but I bought some 4.
Flip it over so I can see the cowl.
Oh, okay.
That's like the original.
Yeah, pretty much. Now the gear, of course, is
yeah. That's modernizing it.
Yeah,
who cares?
modernized, and I put.
Come on, baby. Paul started from so he can go out there and do his woman-man thing. Why don't you let her fly your good plane? What are you fooling around with this nonsense for?
Hey, let me just start it. Yeah, here's the starter.
Oh, real men don't need a starter, Kevin.
Real planes.
Cool. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
No, I'm just saying because you don't want to put your foot.
Anybody that...
Say 7-cylinder Vagel.
I believe.
Yep. Brodak could buy this and put it in his Newport right here.
Then weight wouldn't be a problem.
No. No, you could put that extra coat of clear on.
That's where he goes, up and down
Yeah,
here.
you know,
Windy.
this is like the ultimate force.
I know. Take the picture from the ground. You could take this camera, go take a picture of Joe Adamusco doing a maneuver or something.
Yeah, you can see it.
How cool is this, Mike?
That's pretty good.
Good. Gonna be a hard act to follow, huh? This, I think we owe Pete a soda or something here.
At least.
Come on, you want me to hold you while you're up there?
Yeah, I get my credit card at the end of the month and there's $50,000 on it.
I noticed he slipped that back in there real quick.
Windy just bought a Stearman on my credit card.
The guy lands and we rename it the Paul Winter Thank You Paul Special. Oh my God. Paul, do you know how cool this is?
This is. Well, what about your 86 flight?
Well, but that's an 86. This is a Stearman.
And if you really want to, you can wing walk a little.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Don't bother putting your seatbelt on it.
Yeah.
Just.
Getting out.
Oh man, this is wild.
Oh gosh.
Paul, you're gonna be famous. I swear, you'll have girlfriends. You'll have more girlfriends than Kevin Stewart by the end of this day. If you fall out of this thing over Brodak's. That new picture. Here we are over Brodak's. Hey, look, a biplane. Whoa, somebody fell out. It's full winter. The dumb Englishman jumps without a parachute.
But he flapping his arms, hit Banjock's airplane.
They're giving him the English IQ test. Do you jump with a chute or without a chute?
Well, yeah, you saw that thing about the Polish mine detector? I get that.
Oh my God. I just feel like I went back 50 years in time.
You know, there'll be a memorial with 2 legs sticking out of the ground. You know, don't...
John Brodak called up before the fly-in, and he asked if I would be interested in giving rides.
Let me tell the end of that one. Go ahead.
Absolutely. So we kind of set up and went over there, and they said they announced it a couple of times. You know, we're going to give some biplane rides, and nobody took us up on it. So.
Crazy.
Bob Hunt said, no, we don't want that airplane flying around here the whole 9 yards. And when he flew over, he said, I had to turn him into the FAA. I said, hey, he's air legal. He's within 200 feet.
Give me a
Tell me
break.
about it. Yeah.
You know what? Fly over anytime you want.
Really?
No, they ought to advertise this right on the fly-in. Right on. Come, bring this.
John never comes up with a really, really good idea. And when I saw this, and when you said
Pete,
what you
this
wanted
is
to
why
do,
I'm rich and John is poor. Yeah, right. I don't think so.
Wendy, he's got a lot of that.
Biplane rides. If it was up to me, land right at the
Pull
field.
that thing out.
Sure, you could. People while they're flying. We'll see who really knows how to fly.
Put a big sign at the back, the trail of, you know,
Oh,
big
God.
signs. Have a Stairman ride.
This is the plane you're going to be in tomorrow. You're going to be, so you watch how he shows them how to get in and out of it, and
Oh, the helmet and everything. Okay.
the helmet, the whole.
helmet and everything.
Because if you want to hit the weight...
And if you have a still camera, we can get a picture of him going in and out with, or you can pull it off the video digitally.
I can put off the video digitally.
Okay,
Online.
maybe you come down when he goes to do this and take still pictures.
Yeah.
You can do it with the digital.
I will, definitely. Yeah, because I've got my digital camera in the car.
Look at the dog, he sits in it.
What? Well, it's cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ball's flying over the field, you waved everybody, and he's gonna throw a mannequin out of the plane. With an orange shirt on.
a blow-up doll.
You know, and everybody'd go, boy, he deserves it. Oh, boy, you have to be the single most unpopular guy in the United States. Does this thing have one of those trap doors where you hit a button and he goes out?
Ejection seat.
The ejection seat. The James Bond ejection seat. The Paul Winter ejection seat. Oh, look.
It's all dual controls. Let me give you this. This is all the original 1943 hardware in here, belts.
The belts are all rusted and corroded.
The only thing holding you in, Paul, is dental floss. 1940 dental floss.
And the stuff in your pants.
Keep the microphone on this helmet. I'll put it on you.
No, the truth is, when I went for this AT6 ride, you have to have a parachute when you fly an AT6. And the parachute lesson is 45 minutes and the ride is an hour. Oh, man. And he can't talk and we'll duct tape his mouth shut.
What's them Mooney babies or something that they have? What's
Yeah.
that, Telebabies?
Teletubbies. The Paul Winter Teletubby. Oh, my God.
When we,
Paul, don't touch a damn
either one
thing.
of us is pushing that, we'll be in good shape.
Oh, man. Paul, don't touch a thing.
Look at this.
Paul the Teletubby. Look at this guy. This is so bad. Zuriel's going to have a heart attack.
We'll do some flying around here, then we'll probably go out. I'm going to show them around the area a little bit, and then we'll come back, maybe do a landing, touch and go or something.
Don't let him spit up in the airplane. Put duct tape on his mouth so he can't puke.
Will your dog move?
I bet he does.
Let's see, does the dog move?
The dog does.
Oh my
Right
God.
underneath the,
Back wheel.
Bill! Come on. Hey, Bill.
There she
Yeah,
goes.
good girl.
I guess the prop is where you don't want her under, huh?
You know what? Let me just stick her in there because she gets too close to me.
Paul the Teletubby. Oh, is this going to be in stunt news? Oh my God. Get some still shots. Teletubby winter.
This is a definite.
How could you make this up?
No, you
You know what I like about my life? You can't make it up. You give somebody a blank paper and they can't make it up. You got to seize the moment.
It'll go down forever.
Oh, my head is hurting so bad I'm getting a headache. Mike, is this worth a ride from Arkansas to see Teletubby get a ride?
I was just standing here thinking, this is.
How can it get better than this?
And, like,
You couldn't make this up with $1 million check. Hey, don't lose him. He's a good man. If you come back and he ain't there, it'll be okay. Oh God, heaven help us.
And here comes music.
Oh, Paul, this is so bad.
Clear from. You're clear.
Probably needs a little juiced. Oh, that's a Sato 90. Had a moose going down, eat your heart out. The hawk, the snow owl, the Teletubby. Oh man, this is priceless. Damon, don't laugh, you're gonna be wearing that helmet tomorrow. Oh man. So what's Teletubby doing in there? He's ready to shoot the poop here. Oh no, Mr. Bill! Oh no! I'm sorry I signed up for this ride. Thanks for the memories. It's going bye-bye. Oh, wow. Round engines rule. And that was the last time they ever saw Paul Winter alive. Paul, in a mistaken attempt to go parachuting, forgot to put the parachute on.
He grabbed the wrong bag.
Grabbed the wrong bag. Grabbed a six-pack of beer and jumped out of the plane.
Way before he gets there.
Oh. Teletubby. What's that?
This is just a marker where he knows where he is. But this would be a good thing because he's going to be way over there. You get closer.
Oh, okay, yeah. The last guy that did that blew my hat off with a B-17. They let me out on the runway, almost got killed. And that steam engine, that was no big deal either.
That was great.
Teletubby's going for his first steerman ride. Oh, he's going to come back with wet pants. You know it.
I'll be sure to use the restroom before I go.
Don't have anything to eat.
If you wet your pants in a steerman ride, I'll disinherit you.
Woo!
You are no son of mine.
Oh, I could just picture if we had a mannequin with an orange shirt, we could flip him out right off. He'd land in Brodak's pool.
What?
Dump me down.
Oh, poor Wall Winter. Oh my God. Pete, you know you can't make this up. You know, I don't care how you do it. You just know you gotta live the life. You gotta seize the moment.
And
you gotta be there.
This is over here and that's over there, and you can get the both of them together. You're way ahead of the game.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you only live once, baby. You'd never want to be done with your life and say, gee, I missed that ride in a steerman.
Right.
Uh-oh, Teletubby's revving it up here. We're in trouble. He looks so bad with that hat. Can you picture going into a bar trying to pick up chicks with that hat on?
Oh yeah, he's long gone.
How cool is that? Now tell me, how cool is that?
So I just turn up enough so it starts spraying. It comes out real hard, you know, because it's just force, you know, thinner.
50, 60, 70 pounds type thing?
I don't know, it all depends, you know, I start off with no thinner. If I can to get it to come out the gun out a little bit thinner until I finally start getting it to spray.
Because I've been wanting to do some flat painting too, and
That's what you do.
without mixing it with talcum, which I was just told to do this week when I was here. What's the disadvantage of the talcum?
I just never used it. I don't know. Whitney might know. I don't know why we use it.
Well, I'm only using it inside like a cockpit area to make it dull. But if you have like a scale guy would do the whole outside of the plane or in the wheel wells, or it might be a whole different operation.
Well, what would happen in the long run? Would it start shining? Would it start?
No, nothing. Oh, it lasts forever. But it never hits raw fuel or oil. You know, obviously, hopefully your cockpit is sealed.
Has everybody seen the airbrush? Everybody up front here saw it? This one?
Bob, I got a cool thing somebody gave me. It's called a whip end hose.
Called a what?
A whip end hose. It's a thin hose that goes on the gun.
Okay.
You know what it is. There's probably a pro name for it. So as soon as I try, Warren Walker gave it. As soon as I put it on, I go, oh, that's nice, not having the hose. How cool is that?
Yeah.
But obviously you got to jack the pressure, and it may not work with HVLP.
Yeah.
That may be a problem.
Yeah, you'd cut your volume down.
Or you better have two hoses or dual exhaust or something.
I mean, you can still get the HVLP to work, but
it won't
spray
be up
best
to
with volume.
optimum. Yeah,
Right.
exactly. Look at the size of the compressor.
Because you're always going to have somebody tell you, well, I paint this way with my HVLP and it works fine.
Exactly.
Yeah. You know, you can. You can cheat.
Well, they have a
Cheat on
different.
anything.
When guys paint in hot weather.
Anybody else have any
everything's
paint questions?
I don't have the paint questions per se, but what kind of talc do you use when you're?
I don't use talc, I use just Brodak primer.
Okay.
You mean when you make sanding sealer?
Yeah.
Filler?
Yeah.
The cheapest one you can buy.
Well, what do you get it?
Go by price.
Yeah, but what do you?
Because the expensive ones have perfume in them.
Yeah,
The cheap ones, the first ingredient they leave out is the perfume.
But where do you get it without the perfume?
Anywhere. Drugstore.
No, I've tried at the drugstores. I've tried every place.
The dollar store makes stuff that the can you get for $1, I mean, you could paint a house with.
They got talc at dollar store.
Yes.
Real talc, no
Talk
perfume.
about your talc.
No perfume, no. The perfume I've heard you can have issues with the perfume, but I don't. But doesn't mean you can.
Your talcum that has a perfume
Yeah.
or an odor like baby powder.
Yeah.
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 We mixed some
If it
clear.
smells like perfume,
We mixed some clear with baby powder.
Yeah.
We were painting this guy's plane on the garage last year, putting it on, and he got home.
his
His
wife
wife wouldn't
his
believe
wife
me.
would
That he'd been painting model airplanes.
his wife strip searched
Yeah.
him.
He smelled like baby powder.
Can't you also use cornstarch? Cornstarch?
Yes, yeah.
That could be.
You can use. There's another thing they we use in zinc stearate.
Zinc
Is that what it
stearate,
is?
yeah.
Same thing.
I've used zinc stearate.
But I think
And you can
You know,
use
his sealers
Capicil
and
if you're
his
really adventurous.
sanding sealer or his primers or.
You're saying the dollar stores have
A lot of
talc?
people will take his primer, mix
Well,
it.
by us
thoroughly,
they do, yeah.
and let it set for.
The reason I know is I
And I
use
can't find
pour it
it.
out and start
no,
using
I use it in my
I
shoes
just brush
all the
mine
time.
and I stir it up good.
So and I buy the
Thinner-
cheapest
thinner
stuff
about
because I
50-50.
have
Well, that's what I've been doing.
Yeah, brush a good coat
smelly
on.
feet to be honest.
Then I take a
Well, you can
can
buy
of
it.
aerosol
is
black.
what
Yes.
you're
I
saying.
stay
You
back
can-
Oh,
like
yeah,
that,
yeah.
I just mist
Or
it
if you
with
just
black
buy
ones,
unscented,
those
the
black
big
specks,
name brand for
and I sand it,
$4, you
see
buy
all your
unscented.
imperfections easier.
Okay.
So you can sand the hell out of it, and then when you see that, you know, you either need a little more primer or a little spot putty or something, then come back and prime it, then seal it with a coat of clear, and go from there.
What about nitrate? We were talking about this
Yeah,
earlier.
he'd asked me a question about nitrate, and I don't have much experience with nitrate, but, I've
And
always
keep
been
it that
told
way,
that,
too.
You know, of course, nitrate isn't, foolproof. But it supposedly fills better, doesn't shrink as much, and what have you.
It's supposed to be lighter.
My advice is the same advice that I got.
No.
If you are having good luck painting without nitrate, don't use it. And I think that you don't need to use it because all the other products are very good.
Nitrate is the shortcut to grandma's house through the woods, and
Okay.
there's a lot of wolves.
Yeah, a lot of wolves.
I agree with that.
Now you tell me.
Because I've
I
done
think
it.
it's
My suggestion.
Then what do you do with the fillets then, so that won't, peel up and blister?
Pardon?
What do you do with the fillets then, so your paint will not peel up and blister?
Well, what I do with my fillets, I like to clean them and sand them very good and make sure they're good and cured. And a lot of times I'll use it's a lacquered primer, automotive, and I'll brush it on. I'll just mix up a very small little mixing cup like so, and I'll just brush a coat on it. I've had awful good luck with just Brodak's primer on.
What's the advantage of using nitrate? Is it supposed to be that fillets don't bubble?
I have been told by lots of people that the nitrate, you can paint the Brodak clear over nitrate, but you can't go nitrate over it.
Exactly
That's
right.
correct.
But
Exactly
nitrate
right.
will stick to the epoxy glue.
Well, nitrate is glue. You know that, right?
Well, it sticks to it, and that way when you're painting over, this is what I've been told.
Yeah, no,
when you're painting over it, the nitrate, it will stick to the nitrate. Well, if you just put clear dope or paint over an epoxy fillet, you know, an epoxy inner fillet,
yeah,
it will peel up, and mine peels up every time.
Okay, but when it peels up from butyrate, it doesn't peel up for the reason that you're saying. That what happens is you've sanded the fillet. So if you make an air epoxy light fillet,
okay,
and do not sand it at all,
yes,
no sanding. Take a piece of 180 grit sandpaper and make it rough. Then paint primer, like he said, over the rough.
Okay, primer.
See what you don't get. Here's what you get when a fillet bubbles. When a fillet bubbles, you haven't got a chemical or a mechanical bond.
Right.
That's right.
Or both.
I know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. The nitrate is, for all purposes, you may as well paint it with CA because that's what it is. Nitrate dope was made to attach fabric to metal. It's glue. That's the intention of it. Now, is it lighter or heavier? That's a point you could argue all night. But my experience is when you have 100 new modelers and you introduce nitrate into their finishing system, 90 of them commit suicide.
See you then, my dad. Me on suicide.
Yeah. No, I mean, because the door is now open to cross-contamination. And where you get cross-contamination, as you sand through butyrate into the nitrate, right at the edge, there's a product that's half butyrate and half nitrate. And if you think ugly things don't happen.
Same thing when you shoot your automotive clear.
Alligators. There's alligators. You don't think alligators live in Jersey.
You have two different things, substances you're trying to paint over, and it doesn't work.
Right.
And then you
What
have
about-
the same
what
problem
about-
when you finish it and put clear automotive clear on top.
Pardon?
If you paint with nitrate or nitrate, butyrate, and then put automotive clear on top of it, you just open a big.
You know, well, actually what you're doing is you're laying a coat of plastic, urethane over it, and as long as nothing happens to it, no problem. But as soon as you get a little chip,
Right. As soon as the wolf knows where you are.
man, you take an air hose and come up with just a few pounds of pressure and blow it, and it'll just take sheets off. You can literally peel it off because there's no adhesion, no chemical bond, nothing.
When we were doing Imran in the 80s, and I went down to the DuPont rep and he said, whatever you never do is put lacquer over Imran. And I said, you're crazy, I paint lacquer over Imran all the time. And I showed him the airplane, he said, that's a miracle, I've never seen anybody do that. But of course what he didn't realize is the lacquer was spraying had no thinner in it. And it was airbrushed on.
Yeah.
And I knew how to just fake it my way and then and put Imran right on top. But if you tell somebody go do that and they don't know how to fake it, oh boy, alligators.
It's like using regular lettering paint. You can actually letter, come back with lacquer or anything and paint over.
Sure.
But it takes a certain touch, and it may or may not work. Sometimes it will.
A good example is decals. Rich Jacobone's Stuka is done with decals. Now, I helped them put the decals on, and in the old days, it was impossible to put a decal and spray clear on top of it. They are. The whole plane is decals.
Yep.
So, I mean, things change, and what's changed is the way you make a decal now is you spray clear dope on a decal and then put the decal on.
Yeah.
Well, like it's in Control Line World. When I saw Rich Oliver do that, I was thinking, this is a week from now, I'm going to get the call, you know. And it looked fine. And it lasts a year. I mean, mine is a year old. The
These are
Testarossa.
decals that he generated?
Yeah, Rich Oliver's decals.
Okay.
And in other words, they're, years ago, I would have bet money that would have never worked. And it's a nice addition to the things we're able to do now
But the thing
to
these, that
decorate a
people have
model.
to be careful of is there are still decals out there that you can get and put on an airplane.
Oh yeah, decal is not, decal is like ordering pizza. They're not all pepperoni and thin crust. Why does it always come down to pizza? I don't know if any of the other planes have. Maybe some of the other ones do, and I don't even know it. But of course, years ago, then you had the guys, oh no, I don't use decals. I paint by lettering by, you know, and of course that's gone now because they were all out of the hobby from frustration.
Did you ever make a decal from a picture out of a magazine?
I know you can. I haven't. I just have Rich Oliver do them.
Spray clear on it.
I've started done it.
Let it dry. And
It works fine.
And if you have any question, Rich Oliver has this down to a science.
I make my own decals now.
Yeah. Oh, he can do it. And not, it's perfect. He knows how to crisscross them and how to, well, there they are. Even a swastika is a decal.
The fillet problem because it's
How the hell long would you have to mask all that crap?
The last one I did was
What you can do is do a decal. We're going to do the Spitfire with all decals.
the last one I just did was epoxy.
It actually looks better than it did with paint.
Bubbles.
Last one.
Right.
That I made a push start. And I ran it over there, and it really made it awesome.
You better be damn sure that they're really cured, really good.
Right, now, but the thing that I would still want to cure my peeling
The
process.
solvent says.
I don't think any dope's going to stick to them all the time.
How am I going to fix the fillet to where my dope will stick? I'm hearing a little primer, that's okay, I don't have any problem with putting some of this primer. But I don't want to go to an automotive store and gobs of
If you're going to use regular epoxy with your bubbles, whatever they're called, in them, you got to make sure it's cured. You're going to have to sand it good, and you're going to have to use some kind of good primer, something that'll really bite into it and stick to it.
See, that was the area where a guy told me that makes a pretty good job. Use nitrate clear over that, and then put your own stuff. Put the rest of the stuff over it. That was where.
If you use it just in that area, you
That's
still
all
can
I
have
ever
problems.
used on nitrate.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
But only over.
If you have good
the
luck,
area.
fine.
It didn't peel. It didn't pull up.
The things you have good luck with nitrate, if you never sand it. The people that have
That's
good
right.
luck.
That's right.
People
You
that have
can't sand
excellent luck with nitrate do not sand
Do
their
not sand it.
finishers.
You can't sand it.
And like Vic Macaluso, who's an excellent finisher, world-class finisher, he would put the nitrate on in by gallon, then put auto primer on, sand it. As soon as he hit the nitrate, he'd stop. But now the plane is a lot heavier than mine is when it's at that. So you're trading the wolf for the devil, you know.
So the gentleman told me to start using nitrate for this deal bearer. He said that he just,
It's not that you can't do it.
right. I mean, that's
It's not an impossible. Everyone will be a Titanic, but an awful lot of them go down in flames. And I mean, there's Billy Simons, Billy Suarez, Jose Modesto, myself. There's a lot of good finishers in there that have bitten up. Like I'd have 3 come out okay, and then the 4th one wouldn't.
I'd say for the average person, the nitrate's going to cause problems.
It's going to be more than it's worth. What is it worth? If the fillets bubble, there's other ways around it without sinking the Titanic.
Yeah, I think so too.
I mean, that's
It's mixing product.
Yeah.
It's, you know, even though
John,
you
it's a
have
Brodak
nitrate,
or a
no,
zinc product, it's still you're mixing
for
product.
the people like nitrate.
If I took Brodak primer, the white primer, and just took a swipe right over the fillet, I'd be all right.
Should help.
That's what I'm hearing you say.
I like to use a lacquer
Because that
primer.
will stick to the epoxy.
Yeah, and I like to use a lacquer primer, even an aerosol lacquer primer.
Yeah, when you're going over anything epoxy that cures always has a surface. There's a wax residue that rises to the surface.
That's what has to cure.
You have to get rid of that first. First thing is to take acetone or lacquer thinner, get rid of it and sand it. The sand, and don't sand it in, sand it and throw the sandpaper away. Sand it, throw the sandpaper away. You don't want to grind it in, you want to pull it up and get rid of it.
Oh, so what I need to do is get rid of the surface problem that you just talked about.
Yeah.
And what would I use again?
It's like a
I'm
mold
sorry.
release.
What would I use
It's
again?
exactly what a mold
Yeah.
release is, yeah.
Okay, and what would be the most economical way to go to get that stuff off? To wipe that
Acetone.
stuff? Just
Or the
plain
acetone and a
But if you
Q-tip
don't
in a
use
fillet
nitrate, you
area.
don't have a problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes some sense.
Yeah. And another thing, for people that really never get fillet to pop, there's for some reason, Usually the reason is that they put too much paint on the fillet. The fillet should be 1 millimeter.
Too much too fast.
Yeah.
The top dries
exactly.
first, then it dries down below like a mud hole, and it pulls it away.
I did learn that I don't do that.
You really never want to, in other words, you never want to have the paint on the fillet any thicker than it has to be.
Yep. Just like the people have to get used to how to spray that, because you're usually at a 90-degree area.
Exactly. And you know what? If somebody has another tip off, you're going to have a problem. If you see those sandpaper looking oversprays around a fillet, you're dead. It's going to bubble.
Yep.
Because you've sprayed it too dry. And anything that touches a fillet should have retarder in it.
Pete?
What I do, I had gallons. I worked with this guy restored old airplanes, and he had
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah, of course.
nitrate duct.
Because your shop conditions are probably warm.
What I do is when I'm filling the wood for the first time, I use the nitrate just to use it up.
Oh, the worst of all
And then
worlds.
once I decide I'm gonna go to tissue and that there, I never touch nitrate again, because I like the way it sucks into the wood and lines. But once I start with the regular Brodak dope, I do not go back to nitrate.
Well, you can't go back on nitrate over the regular.
Yeah, the ink lines will make it.
You'll have trouble.
Yeah.
I use about maybe 10%.
The best thing is what Wendy said. Do not use it. Stay with butyrate. Stay with, in the same way with Wendy's tapes when he was saying that people, you got Brodak dope. And then you go to the local dollar store and you buy lacquer thinner and you try to use it. And they say, oh my God, it turned the shit on. Guess what? You're mixing watermelons and bananas and stuff. You can't
Oh,
do
yeah.
that. You
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah. And then I keep a database. Now, I have a database home of every person that's ever called me and had a problem with Brodak dope products. We will not mention names, but we all know who the people are. And I'll give you one example. Somebody who started with nitrate, went to butyrate, went to God knows what else, and then called me up and said, I'm going to put on Stuka Stunt. Brodak dope is crack. I refinished my whole plane, blah, blah. And I found out a year later, the Skinny, they had used Home Depot thinner every step of the way. And I said,
I don't know what its formula is, but he strongly said, you cannot use this with anything else. I mean, what you gotta use is clear and so on. But it's a nice paint. I use it on a bunch of model boats that I built. And it's a nice
I've heard of
paint.
it, I've never used it.
It's a nice paint, but again, you gotta use his stuff, it's thinner.
he takes Brodak dope and changes the label on the jar. I was going to do that and make it Wendy's paint and double the price. John said no.
Anybody else got any paint questions, problems, anything?
Okay, I had one guy, maybe I told him to talk to you, but he said you used our clear, he had used it for a year, but then you used it, it never dried. I told him I never ever had that.
He was talking to me about that.
Yeah, he said 3 days, it's still attacking. So what the heck could be?
I asked him, I said, did you use Brodak thinner? He hesitated for several seconds.
Oh, yeah.
And then he said,
Case closed.
And he said, yeah, I did. And I said, are you sure? And he said, well, yeah. So I don't know. I would say the hesitation, I know what I used.
You don't think people lie, do you?
No. Well, whatever.
No, it's not. It's worse than that. They don't know what they use. They don't mark jars and cans and buckets and...
I told him that the only way anybody's going to be able to tell is to do an analysis of why, and what the chemicals are there, why it didn't dry. So I said, I would like to have some of the clear, and I can give to John, and I said, we'll have it checked and find out what it is.
Yeah, and by the way, I offered to have that done, to have the paint that was supposed to be, I never ever got a sample, but it wound up on Stuka Stunt.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Does Brodak, I think you have a restorer or something?
Rejuvenator.
Rejuvenate. Can
Right.
that be done over other kinds of paint, or you have to just do it over Brodak?
No, I can go over any butyrate dope.
So, any lacquer
What is
product,
that
it's
stuff?
safe.
Any butyrate
Just don't
dope.
pour it over you, because it won't rejuvenate you, believe me.
I know what you want to do with it.
Rejuvenator's
forget it.
actually like a hot thinner, or almost.
George Aldrich used it on some, I don't remember
It
what.
works.
And he called me up, hey, wow, this works great.
What do you use it for?
It melts everything together.
When you have a crack in old
It's
dope.
gotten old looking and stuff. You put it on and it just melts it together and makes it
Using
look
real
good
airplanes.
again.
Oh, okay.
It's made to repair hail damage on fabric covered planes.
So how would you, put it on without, if you're trying to fix a crack, how would you fix the crack in that?
Just, you melt it. You spray enough of it on that it just goes bloop and welds it together.
And it will look nice and
And you
clean.
have to know what
Oh, it looks great, yeah.
Is that what you were using?
You might have a puddle of paint.
Tape for how to use Brodak dope?
Yeah.
On the
Yep.
Spitfire?
Yep. Yep. On, and it's great for over the cap strips and stuff. Yeah, because that's where they crack.
I didn't talk to you about the tapes too later.
How about using that on orange trading? Orange peel.
I left one of my tapes in the base yard.
Letting the rejuvenate that.
Oh yeah, you're not the first one.
I see you got the guns there.
Yep.
Is there a preference over gravity fed and suction?
A lot easier to clean, takes less thinner. Some areas people feel it's easier to use. They like the balance better.
Which one?
It's kind of like underwear, you know. Everybody has one preference.
It's like flying inverted, you know, sometimes some guys fly like this and some guys fly like that.
Yeah.
Personal preference.
It's kind of like Wendy saw me, the handle I have for my Strega, which works okay for me. He said he couldn't use it because he liked this other one, so I'm going to try one like he has, and I can feel the difference.
And you try both.
Yeah.
The ideal world would be you line up 8, 10 guns.
Yeah.
And then you buy the one that works for you.
Well, what I like to do is Lynn comes over, he has an old airplane. Now I have those little Harbor Freight guns. I have 6 or 8 of them. I have a big DeVille with production guns, Pache airbrushes. I have him come over, try each one.
Exactly.
What works for you? And
Exactly.
most people say, well, first of all, they don't want to go out and buy a 5 horsepower, 50-gallon tank, compressor and all that. Come to my house, we'll play with it.
Right.
Do whatever you want,
Right.
whatever you like, that's where you go. So if you're lucky enough to be around Windy or out near your area and they'll let you go out and play with the guns, that's the way to go.
Yeah. Yes.
If you are getting orange peel, what do you do? What would be the cause?
If you're getting orange peel, usually you've got too low a pressure, too thick a paint.
So you would add more thinner?
You can add more thinner, increase the pressure. Do a test pattern on something first until you get your paint to spray the way you want it to spray.
Okay.
I had terrible fits with
go to
that.
Wendy's
I
and they
increased
give you
my
some of that?
retarder and it made a big difference.
Well,
what's that stuff? That fish eyes? Does that? Well,
No, that has nothing to do with that.
No, fish eye don't take out the orange peel.
That just keeps
If
fish eyes.
you thin out your paint when you go back over that orange peel, and it'll smooth out.
And you have 2 choices you can do. You can go ahead and put a full coat on with orange peel, let it set, sand it the next day.
Right.
Or you can put on, let it set up, flash out, put another coat on thinner, because it's going to melt together.
Yeah, that's what I
And it
thought.
will decrease the amount of orange peel you have.
Now,
Yeah.
I find using retarder,
Yeah.
neutralizes
Well, all retarder is a slower drying thinner.
a slower drying.
Yeah, a high
I
grade.
know well, I don't know what I was doing, but I put on retarder and it took 2 weeks and it still wasn't dry.
I
Well,
believe
see, the
that.
first part you said,
But you're
you
supposed
killed
to
yourself
spray it
right
on,
there. You
not
said,
pour it.
I didn't know what I was doing, but I
The first part of your statement is absolutely right.
Well,
I don't know what
the
I'm
first
doing.
thing you do, instead of going out and buying, and you hear people talking about retarders and stuff, so you go out and you spray it on, and there you got your airplane sitting there for about two months. Still ain't dry.
I used 100% retarder one time to try.
Well, I've always
I used
got-
100%
I was
retarder
just
and the next
splashing
morning it was dry.
at a time.
100%?
The suction guns.
I had to find out about
Paint
retarder
seems to
because
be-
I wanted to find out about speed.
Well, I mixed it. I mixed it in with clear.
Well, I now use a lot of retarder 50-50 with thinner. And I have a lot of humidity and high temperatures in North Carolina.
But the only way you get bit with that,
It's terrible.
the only way you get bit is melting canopies and ink lines.
Yeah.
Other than that, once you got a couple of coats on that,
Yeah.
you can use straight retarder.
Yeah, it's kind of halfway in between.
And if then instead of a half hour to dry, it'll take 2 hours
Yeah, right. That's what I found out.
in hot conditions.
Right.
What mix do you, how thin do you thin the paint up?
What about
Standard.
oiling the
60-40. And rough, by eye. I
61.
What I was doing.
Oh, yeah.
What I did with the white is I took the can and I took the thing up, stirred it a little bit, and I dumped most of it out into a
Right, dump half out.
Sure. Filled it up with thinner, put the lid on it, chuck it up good, got everything out, dumped it in, put the rest of the thinner in there.
That's a real good start. That's probably real finish.
I
right
noticed
there.
with the white, I had a problem with that. Wherever there was silver showing through that white primer, which I didn't go put another coat on, I had dark spots. I would keep going out with the paint.
Oh, yeah, you could put 2 gallons on it.
There's no pigment in white.
Yeah.
There is?
Sure.
I thought white was different than all the other.
Bob will know for sure, but I'll take a wild guess that Bob, about the white pigment.
Yes.
Answer it, because I don't know the answer.
My
to this
question is, I've been told that the white paint, white Brodak paint, is totally different than all the other Brodak paints in that it's truly not a pigmented paint.
Is that true? Do you know?
Now, I wasn't told by a chemist or John this, but I was told by some people who make some pretty good finishes that white paint is totally different than all the other Brodak.
You read it on Stuka's stunt, probably.
White paint is absence of all other pigments.
Of the other pigments.
So it is different probably.
Well, you can buy white pigment because I buy the raw pigment and mix my own.
Oh, okay.
What is pigment?
So, but as for being different, I don't.
What makes it white instead of blue?
I don't know how to really say that.
The solid part of a
See, I thought he said it was more of a chalk.
So you can buy that? Where you gotta go to Brodak to buy
No,
it?
you go to a paint store. You can go to a paint that makes car paint. Bob might have it at
He
his
makes a
shop.
good finish out of it and everything, but that was part of this.
It looks like gel.
The white paint is different, and that's why you can use the white paint as a base.
No, that's dope on that.
Much
But it's the blue, that's
Well, I'm sorry, I can't honestly answer that.
I don't know.
Go get a can of white. I'll tell you if there's pigment in it. Scoop some out and taste it. And do it the old-fashioned way. We'll see what's in that.
Let Wendy prove it.
Yeah, here's living proof. Hi.
I'm not gonna taste it.
Right, Bob? If you're having a problem with painting, just painting with regular paint. Don't be buying pigment and try to mix it and do this and that there. If you don't know what you're doing, all you're doing is creating can worms.
You know, anybody that's a beginner too, if you're starting, keep it real simple. Have some success and then try tricky stuff. But the simple stuff like is on my video, I've never seen anybody else that can't get a good finish the first time. In our club, we have at least, where's Mike? 20 people that we've helped along. Mike's helped. There's one here now. Where's Crew? He was. Oh, but what I'm saying, you've been to Mike's house. You see how many people? How many people can't within a half an hour be painting? Not many. I mean, you really have to have like a problem that you can't figure it out.
No, I've painted a lot for the airlines and that, and at 500 feet you never see 5,000 feet, 35,000.
Right.
I start getting your tapes, and it was just the how to do this, how to do that, blah, blah, blah. And if you do that, and you watch, and like you said, keep it simple. It's amazing how the quality of your paint job will jump in one airplane.
Well, here's another example. George's bomber. Bring the bomber. Can you get up here? George wanted to know about painting the windows. That's something I didn't know if you were going to talk about. So I gave George my paint that's already mixed. Now, you could mix it, but that's Brodak, Candy Blue, and B25. I got to remember, I got it written down.
Okay.
Silver,
Grab that.
But
wow, grab that.
George, is this the first time you painted windows with that? This is the first window. I think these windows look pretty good.
You did good there, George.
Wow.
No, I'm saying now that
I wouldn't have done that.
that's a first class set of windows there. D Rice down in Texas never painted windows. I think that's pretty good, but obviously in the eye of the beholder.
What did you do? How did you do that?
He has the paint, you just mix it up. It was all white to start with. I masked off what I wanted. I sprayed the one coat of stuff on in one color, let it sit, went back to the other around the center, and then when it's dry, just take around fog the edges of black, pull the tape off, all done.
Little foggy for accent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Buy a Windy video, it shows it on there, you can pause it, you can try it, you'll love it.
Yeah, you know what? I got an idea. Next year for a demo, we'll do a canopy. Somebody build a plane and don't paint the canopy. We can do that. I'll bring the little George still has them, in fact.
No, they're in your car.
Okay, but I mean, there's no big secret how to do that. Make a
No,
window.
it was simple, I never done anything like that
Yeah,
before, that's the
no,
first set I ever did.
it's very easy.
After you taped off the windows, then you sprayed the silver and then the
No,
candy blue?
there's a one color blue, then there's another.
And a darker and a lighter.
The edges are around with the black, just went around on the edges of the windows and like that, fog the black in with the airbrush, and then when it dried, just pull the tape off, squirt a coat of clear on it, all done.
And you can use that on, I mean, to make trim, you can use it like on, see if anybody else has a painted on canopy here. Well,
This skinny
there's other
line,
things you can use it on.
tape that?
That's just tape, the 16th inch tape through
Oh,
there, an 8th
16th
inch
inch
tape,
tape.
and then just left the white.
You can buy
white.
16th inch tape.
Yeah, you can buy it.
You can buy 16th inch tape.
Go to automotive store. Automotive.
Now, did you do that with airbrush or?
Airbrush, yeah.
All of it, you can't.
No, yeah, just the windows and the numbers.
That's what I mean,
Everything else
just the
was-
windows.
And you got little windows in the back. I didn't even see how
Yeah,
many
it's
windows
the
you
windows in the door.
had. Yeah.
On the side there. Beautiful.
That's a beautiful plane.
I think I did the airbrush on the black too, I don't think I used a spray gun for that.
How many coats of clear do you have over all your color?
That is red, insignia red and white, and there's one coat between colors of just regular clear, and then there's one coat of urethane over the whole thing, it's car paint, the last.
And you got the car paint there.
Yeah.
Well, no, he knows somebody who's a body man.
Yeah,
See, that's cheating.
Yeah.
Nah.
I don't have a spray gun, puts it on, so we had it all over his garage.
No, but I'm saying, see, like, you know Joel.
Right.
When you know a guy that's got a body shop,
Yeah.
this is a lot easier than if you're in, you know, a isolated place and you don't, Bob Brookins isn't down the block.
Okay,
I mean-
I don't know a guy in a
Especially when the body
in a
man's
bottom
also
shop.
a lot
How would I get that finished? After the red and white?
You can go buy that clear, you know, and do it. Spray gun I got wouldn't even do it, so I wouldn't try it, I'd stick with it.
Well, the clear that I was told in the automotive store would do that, I need an $85 mask. And that's one of the, because of cyanide and everything.
Sounds like Imran.
I don't know, the stuff he uses, he has a little.
It's really for professional use. If here's an example, you got to keep the catalyst in the refrigerator. You don't want to put it in the same refrigerator with your food, unless you want your pepperoni to taste like cattle. Now Bob gave me some, which I found a lot of uses for beside planes. I painted my stove with it. That antique stove that's in my kitchen. I mean, I painted my hardwood floors, had little spots where they scratched it. Covers the scratches perfectly. But the thing is, that material you really shouldn't be giving to somebody who they'll, for instance, leave the lid off and the cat knocks the can over, because you'll kill your pets. And same thing with Imran.
This is bad stuff when you put the hard.
It's not something you should be playing with.
That's why I didn't want to play with that. So, say, five good coats of clear would do that? Would give me a nice finish?
Yes.
I would think so.
On a plane that
That's what I'm
size,
using now, and I wouldn't know.
Actually, if you're gonna sand it and rub it out, I'd put at least 6 to 8 coats of clear on.
Yeah.
but the way I do it is different than Bob. He does it by coats. I do it by mix a certain amount. A plane that size gets 2 quarts. 2 quarts of thinner, 2 quarts of clear, and then add all the retarder you want. And add more retarder to each batch. But when that should be plenty. That red plane that's in the car, everybody I'm sure saw it today, has 2 quarts of paint on it. And the total finish, every gram of finish is under 7 ounces for the whole plane. Now I would be willing to bet one of the byproducts of George's clear is Rich Oliver did an accurate assessment of this. It's about 3 ounces extra to use automotive clear on a plane. So in other words, that finish is now 10 ounces. Now the problem is, if the plane is tail heavy, that's now 5 ounces because you need 2 ounces of nose weight. Now Bob might know the more accurate numbers to this.
Not actually, it's just I noticed that, you know, especially people, there's so much area behind your center of
It's
gravity.
over 80%.
Yeah.
It's over 80% of the square inch.
Clear on, and you're putting that much weight,
Yeah.
much clear behind the center of gravity, you're got a good chance of being real tail heavy.
Yeah.
Like you said, so it adds 3 ounces, you have 2 ounces nose weight, there's 5 ounces.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, the mixture you just gave, about how many coats would that be on that?
One very, very thin coat.
Oh, but that's all?
That's one thin coat.
One, and I mean a thin coat, a professionally applied coat.
No, I'm
The
talking
nice
about
thing
your
about
clear.
clear dope is
Your clear and
it
thin.
dries and
Depends how
actually
you
uses
spray it. I mean, it might be 20 coats.
Oh, okay.
If you airbrush it, it might be 15,
So
I
you
don't
go by
know.
quantity of what you mix.
Quantity, you're never wrong with quantity.
And let it set and air out for a few days.
And the best is put one coat on a day for a week. Let each one totally dry out, if you're not in a big rush.
And not as much weight.
I hear people
And
talk about this rubbing
you can
out
repair it.
stuff. I would like somebody to show me how you rub out something.
Bob will be glad to do that right now. Get something to rub out.
No,
What?
What, you want something to rub out?
no, I just said, I hear these.
Someone rub
No, after it dries, I'm gonna rub it out, right? Sounds like The Sopranos.
You don't put your compound in your last coat of clear?
I don't do nothing but paint and fly.
Well, you put your compound in your last coat of clear, you don't have to rub it out.
I don't have no compound. Compound what?
You gotta find some special compound.
Sleepy, where's that plane of yours?
Outside.
Bring it in here.
I hope you don't believe
You
it.
got some gorums?
I was just gonna say,
You got some gorums? Anybody have some gorums around?
Don't be going out and trying to find compounds with your clear.
please.
Bob, see if he has any gorm. Pete, you know if John
I
has
don't
some
think so, but
gorms?
I'll look.
Well, John's got,
I know that'll work, everything
John's
else
got
is
some
maybe.
McGuire's even number 3 or some finesse of 2.
That doesn't need to be rubbed out.
Either one of those will work.
Let me see your plane.
And John handles McGuire products, so.
That's smooth to start.
Well, we'll find a spot that isn't smooth.
You know
No,
he's
the
gonna
bottom
want,
ain't.
you know he's gonna want you to rub the whole thing.
I got one rubbed.
That's not rubbed out. Turn over.
The top is rubbed out.
Yeah, half
I've
rubbed
got
out.
one that's got a little bit of winch peel onto it.
We could do this part right here, Bob. You could do a little demo. If you just, all you gotta do is get some gorm.
Bring it up front here, you're gonna be on the camera.
Bring it up there. Bring it up there.
We'll get you.
See now, George's plane, when you wanna rub out automotive finish, it's a whole different animal.
Yes.
That's
And
different
one coat,
products
a lot
and
of sand
everything.
and rub out.
But butyrate dope,
600?
gorms.
Sand it, 600?
Ron Keith knows that.
Where do you get to go on?
2,000.
Me.
Oh, okay.
I never heard.
Grocery store first, because then you'll save the shipping of $1.
1,500 to 2,000.
And they don't make it anymore. So, and I have bought out every grocery store I've ever. John maybe even have some. I don't know.
I thought the only one you had was that orange one.
No, what?
And it's not expensive. It's like if you buy in a grocery store, it's $4.50. What is it? $5 now maybe.
Huh?
Gorms, $4 or $5 a tub.
Yeah, it's not.
Maybe cheaper if you're outside the New York
Is
area.
it furniture? Is it the furniture? Is it?
No, it's silver polish.
Silver polish.
But see, they've come up with a liquid silver polish that's better. So now they really
Oh, yeah, I've been flying.
Okay.
If you're in Indiana, sometimes you go to a grocery store and they have 10 of them because they'll never sell them. Nobody uses it anymore. And the liquid stuff's useless. It takes paint off.
I don't see any.
Okay, next test. Anybody need dental work?
Have dental hygiene.
Anybody for a facelift?
We have a dental
Tummy
hygienist
tuck?
here, we can do that.
The guy who painted this airplane must have been an artist also. Did you see that kind of work?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, have you seen that kind of work?
Can I see it?
No.
Have I seen it? Can I do it?
The shadows.
Yes.
I'm sure you can, but the shadow is fantastic.
Yes, it is.
I've never seen that kind of stuff.
Thank you.
I can thank Wendy for this airplane.
When you're putting
I don't hear a cash register ringing.
when you're putting on say you're painting a plane that's got like that Noblo there with 3 different colors or so. You start with the lightest color and work to the darkest color?
No,
No?
I reverse it. The trim goes on first. In other words, I have to plan a paint job. I have to know what it's going to be when it's done.
Okay.
And I always want to paint the trim first.
Really?
Then I want to backmask the trim and paint the rest. I don't want the plane painted under the trim, because now I have double layers of paint. Does that make sense?
Thank you.
I think it does.
Where's that Nobler?
All right,
Okay, if I was doing that paint job, first step would be I would paint the red, backmask the red, and then paint the cream.
Really?
I would never paint the plain cream and then try to paint red on it. I never try to paint white on top of red. And you'll only do that once in a lifetime.
Once.
But you always want the smallest, because now you don't have to backmask it. You're just saving time is what you're doing. Pick any paint job here and I can tell you the reverse scenario of how you would
For the
paint.
average guy that's just painting an airplane, and you aren't trying to have contours, it'd save you a lot of time painting the cream first, the red, the blue.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah.
like Wendy is saying, you know, if you're gonna try to keep the paint down to a minimum weight, and you want it to be the best so that there's the least amount of edge as possible.
Right.
You plan it out, and you lay your graphics out first, shoot from there.
And the least amount of backmasking, because once you paint, you don't want to put tape over paint.
Yeah, but
That's only bad things can happen when you do that.
Okay, you say you don't want to paint the light color over the red.
Right.
How the hell are you going to get that edge so that you don't see the red and the white all screwed up together?
You paint the red, and that's got a line, then you reverse the tape.
Yeah, but you painted the red first.
Right, but now I'm covering the red and painting the cream, the light color.
You're going to tell me that you tape so close to that red that you don't leave a line?
Oh, and you could do it every time. Sure. I can even do it with my bad eyes. And Bobby or somebody with, you know, that's like a professional.
Just take 1/8" tape or 1/16, whatever you need. You lay it out. You just.
That's not even hard.
Hey, Bob. That was a good tip there.
That's the easy part.
Press down that tape.
All the things in life that are worth having are, you think, why didn't I think of that?
And especially tape. I'm sure it is.
I'll see what Bob used, but I like real masking tape, 3M. And
Don't they make different, whole different?
the blue stuff is okay if you've got problems that you're afraid to pull the paint up. But if you're not, you take the green, you rub it on your sweatshirt, and they make 1/8 and 3/37, whatever dimension. Strip it out, and you rub it on a clean shirt, you know, and put it on a plane. Never pull paint up. Seal it with clear along the edge, one coat of clear.
When you get your little strip there covering up the edge of your red,
right?
How do you cover the rest of the red? That may be a silly question.
Aluminum foil.
Okay.
What happens when you make, here's what happens. When you make an edge of the design you want with 1/8" tape, you'll lay the aluminum foil on top and press it, then it makes an impression. Then you take it off the plane, cut in 1/8 of an inch, you've got a perfect pattern, drops right in there.
That's a good tip right there.
That's two.
How do you keep?
I don't hear a cash register ringing.
How do you keep the tin foil on? Regular masking tape?
You just put another piece of 1/8" tape around the edge. In other words, the minimum amount of surface area of tape touching is what you're looking for.
Right, that's what I'm...
Minimum. You don't want to have in other words, like guys, you wouldn't want to take a 1-inch tape and just lay it all over the plane. You're guaranteed you'll pull the paint up. Because most masking tape, and you put the tape on and 3-4 hours later, or at night, or the next morning, get it the hell off. Don't leave it on and go fishing.
Right, I know about that one. But you use tin foil.
I use all tin foil, yeah. And a cheaper tin foil. There's thick and thin. Buy the cheapest, dollar store tin foil. You gonna buff that out for us?
Wow, tell me how. I'm curious. Now, how do I hide the grain? I mean,
I don't understand hide the grain. First, you got to put enough clear on here that you can buff it out.
Okay.
Once you get enough, put that up on the camera. Let me see.
That's very important that Bob taught me.
All right, I'll address this real easy. Let John talk.
So I paint
One
white
second.
over it, the red comes through. I painted silver over it, the red comes through. I put primer, red come through.
Paint it silver.
Red, black.
Okay, or silver.
come through too.
Silver too?
Yep. Bob said what you do is if you have red, you want to cover it. It's red, black.
Oh, red.
Black.
What did I just say? Red.
Yeah, red.
Oh.
So I put black over it, and then I come back and put the white over it, and change the color. That's very important.
Yeah, that's a good tip.
Nothing else will cover it over. Nothing else will cover it over.
See, if you want to, and you wanted to buff this out, you wipe it off, put 10 coats of clear on first. You want to get this, there's not enough paint here to buff. You got to buff clear, you can't buff colored paint because you go through.
Right.
That would buff right out.
Right.
Okay. And that would.
Yeah. And it may not happen right
Okay.
away.
And that would
6 months
cover.
later,
That
it
would
comes to
smooth that.
you may have these spots.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. I mean, it would be better if you, in the beginning and the finish, you did substrate, silver. Yeah, that would make it perfect. But if you put enough clear on a propeller, you can buff it out.
I did use.
Everybody wondered how come I never.
I did use filler. I used white filler.
Okay.
I don't know if I used gray.
But tissue is better than filler. Tissue is.
And I used it. It has silk span on it.
Okay. The silk span makes it easier to get it flat like that.
Okay. But I never get. Well, I don't put enough clear on it.
Yeah, you need. Well, what'll happen if we had some quorums, I'd show you. You got a flat. You mean we can't find our way in the dark like this? He can find it. Are you sure this? I think the snakes were out in this part of the woods. You got a little baby flashlight.
That's all I have.
Oh my God. So we're the last ones up the hill. If we can find the car, if we could only find the car. Oh, it would be so nice to have a car. Okay, you ready to put Strago to sleep here?
Yes.
All packed up.
But all my exes live in Texas. That's why I hang my hat in Tennessee.
Oh, looks like another beautiful day. The fog is just starting to burn off. The sun is out. It's due to go up in the 70s or low 80s today. And they're predicting just one more beautiful day. We've only had the one episode with the rain so far, and that really didn't hurt anything. Today will be the first round of Expert. Tomorrow the second round. Tonight, for sure, Junkyard Wars. And of course, they'll be flying scale up on a top circle. We'll try to get some of that action too.
This doesn't come out looking like the right now.
Rich, he's learning from Windy.
I know.
Nice,
With it.
Get some posse poses.
Huh? Get some posse poses. Posse poses? Yeah, pose with it.
And maybe he knew it was there.
The
other guy probably
Someone shot me down.
This guy was running into that ball and he walked.
That's because of the bullet holes you
Just
got.
thinking about it makes
got a broken column. What do you put bullet holes in there?
Well, there was a concert going on.
in an airport.
Yeah, right.
It was Memorial Day.
Yeah, there was a Met game.
And the Koreans were having some kind of.
They said if I didn't crash at least 3 10 planes.
You know how we walk?
Oh, yeah.
And they were on, I don't know if you remember mine.
Get up, stand up and pick it up and turn it. There, oh, there you go.
You tell me how you want it.
Zeros out there, but we gave her.
Thanks a lot.
One engine out. En motor ute.
Okej, Windy sa åt mig att jag skulle hämta planet och skulle flyga här.
Okej.
So we're gonna have a little look at the start order over here. Oh no, that's fun scale. Well, that's not what we're looking for.
But we can take pictures of those planes.
Let's see what we got here. Oh, nice.
Control.
How you doing, Clyde?
Control.
Aren't we?
It looks kind of crazy.
Yeah, I think I've seen this one before. He flies this about every year here. And then he flew it with another guy. This one I'm thinking of, he flew it with another guy, like World War I. I wonder if he ever smashed it.
And you should be ready. I think I'm good to go. Yeah. I've had this, you know, wind tunnel analyzed and performance enhanced to fly just like the real one, really badly. Yeah, it's in the fly very good. It's very authentic.
All right.
I bought a $3 engine and I need to build an airplane to fit that thing.
I got one of these and one of those. Is that the idea?
Yeah.
Well, I'll need to see it. You should have two of the flight sheets.
Why?
Because there's two.
Hey, Bob. You want to use that table to work on your airplane? Don't think too damn hard.
You got any?
We got a couple of like calls and everything. I don't know if they're going through.
There you go. They're bringing it to you.
Sweden, away!
What the hell's that got to do? We can't win either.
Yeah.
We haven't won. The best we did is suck it. They ain't gonna let you win over there in Europe. Or
Not anything subjective. If it's against a clock, we do fine.
Yeah.
Pylon racing.
But No, they're not going to let you win. Shirley said, why do you even worry about it? You see that there?
I know Mindy will be there from Michigan.
Oh, yeah. She's a cutie.
Two of mine.
Mm-hmm. Well, I talked to, hi, darling, how you doing?
Good luck today. Oh,
better than nothing, she tells me.
How many different airplanes?
Oh, I rent it. I can't run up and down these damn hills.
Ah, watching that road. Ah, it was the same time. Cool. But I saw the DVDs from Wendy. No? The official. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Official DVD. Cool. It's 3 hours. 2 DVDs, 3 hours. No, 4 hours.
First part I go sleep and then I might wake up and go like,
I'm not taking a lot of food. No, but
Most of you know Dale, he's a many-time member of the U.S. World Championship.
You know, when we changed circles, I thought we'd get away from this hard man. No.
Got 2 hands on.
Oh man, I don't know. I don't like very often. I don't even know the difference. So I don't think I can help you much. Thought I can help you. Yeah. I need to find out. I don't want to disturb the judges.
Inboard and all. Well, just one inboard.
Yeah, we got this stuff down on my feet.
Both on.
I honestly don't know. Yeah. This
Scott.
very helpful.
How many options are there's no group for a lot of the 2 inboards.
Allowed up to 6.
Oh, allowed, okay.
Touch and go? Yeah.
Yeah, he's got one inboard and out. One next to him.
So say after high flight, come in and land, you might cannot see you shut down. I want to get this all done and I can put it on the sheet for you guys.
This is a 20-point option. That counts as 2 options.
Okay.
Brother Mr. Snyder, how do you do? There's my documentation. You have your static sheet and your 2 flight policies. All right, sure do, right here.
How do we slow it down?
You gotta say radio over there, I think.
I'm gonna walk over here and try to see what time I fly.
At least a full circle. Right.
Yeah.
I'd go a little bit more. Right. Stop, and if you can kill the engine, kill it.
Okay, tell me how this looks.
Take off, 10 level left.
You ready?
High flight.
You won't pull her out, I'll guarantee you.
Do you have 1 too many?
No, because
Oh, that's not, sorry, that's 2.
See, I'm just putting 2 level laps in between
4,
somewhere.
5.
And he was saying the touch and go and the taxi and fuel.
These are, that's 2. That's 2. That's 2.
That makes it easier to judge.
Come on, give him a point. You need two. You need two more. You know what the color people are. He said you're not required to have any action, but you're allowed to at least have a point or two. Yeah, right. Well, you're right. You're not in fun scale unless you get a real high flying scale. We're gonna talk about it. Okay, so we got to go through that. Yeah. So. You know, and I said, oh yeah, we got coffee down there. We got we need. Technically, they don't even say what height won't work. They say, spot right here for you. Always down there. We don't need our help on most people. Feels like that.
Wayne!
You'll feel bad about it. Take that, Lou, they're laying in my van. The side door's open, it says ARF on the handle. I'll go get them for you, in fact. All right, so we start the day off. Lou had a little problem. We got him a set of lines and a handle. Luckily, we always have some spares for just such occasions. They're getting ready to have the pilots meeting, which, and then we got to go see if what the flight order is. The flight order the second day is they'll reverse whatever the order is today. So if you get an early draw today, you'll be late tomorrow. Steam rising right off of the electric plant. We should have a heck of a day. She didn't even make a picture. Look, I gave her a big hug. Look at this. Isn't that embarrassing? You don't let my wife see that. If my wife sees that, you know what's going to happen?
She was there, honey.
She's going to know
She was there,
I'm a stud. Yeah. This guy, by the way, never was a stud, even when he was young. Trust me.
But I really appreciate everybody.
Every year we get to sign these shirts. Okay.
Congratulations to you. John Vilna.
I'm on there somewhere. Come on. Be a man. Somewhere. Turn around. I'm always on the back. They always put me on the back.
Ian wants to say thank you for breakfast. So, how they... I just have one personal blurb for myself. I do run beginners at the Nats. It is on Monday, July 9th. We separate the juniors and seniors from the open. There are separate plaques, and we have 2 perpetual trophies, a junior senior perpetual trophy and an open perpetual trophy. Please bring people to the Nats for that if you can. My only other request, and I'm not upset if no one does it, but if you have something sitting around that you're not going to build or use, engine kit or whatever, and you like to donate it, it is chosen by the winners there. So that those things go to them. That's the last thing I'll say about that. Tom.
Okay, as Alan already mentioned, the junkyard wars we're going to get going as soon as possible after the first of these 2 circles is open. And it's just going to be, we're going to build, we're going to judge, have a little fun, and then fly. So everything's going to happen hopefully within a few hours. Secondly, at about 5:30, we'd like to have all pilots with 1 aircraft meet over there by the memorial flagpole. We're going to do a group photo. We have a professional photographer coming in. You don't have to participate, but if you would, it'd be a great photograph. So all pilots, if you can, meet over there by the flagpole, 5:30, 5:45, and right after that will be dinner. Hope to see you all there. 1 aircraft, 1 pilot. Okay, thanks.
Hey!
For the 18 guys who signed up to fly combat, we're going to have a pilots meeting on the far circle number 2 by the tree at 8:30. Prior to that, I'd really appreciate it if I could get about 6 people over on the by the tents on the advanced circle to help me move the canopy and table over there. If you do that, and then we'll see you at the pilots meeting at 8:30. Thanks.
One other thing that's happened is we have rumors, but nobody knows the truth, that Art Adamison is going to come. We all grieve in our own way. It's fine. If he comes, I'd ask that you all pay attention. We won't try to, I want to shut it down for a minute in Betty's memory. If you would bear with us, we can't do it in the middle of the day because we have no way to communicate it, but it's probably tomorrow. And please, everybody, if Art does arrive, I don't want anything said about it. I want it to happen to him spontaneously as far as he knows. We will have to cooperate in it. There's always one or two people who want to run a motor while we're doing it, and we all have to play ball with it. I hope he comes. God bless him.
Fun Scale. Any of you folks in Fun Scale, we'd like to have a pilots meeting up on the asphalt circle as soon as you can make it up there. We try to get 2 rounds in today. We need to get started. Fun Scale. Also, if you're in sport and or profile scale, we will start the static judging over here in John's front yard about 11 o'clock this morning. So keep that in mind as you fly your stunt airplanes and then go fly your real ones. Hey ho, hi. My name's Phil Spillman. I'm the president and treasurer of the Skylarks of Sharon Model Airplane Club. We plan on holding 2 control line events this summer, and they're announced up here on the flyers in this box. Any and all of you are welcome to come. We'll have facilities on the field. On the 28th and 9th of July is our 12th or 14th annual control line fun fly. This year we're adding our a profile stunt contest to that. There'll be prizes first through third in all skill classes. Profile flyers will get 2 flights on Saturday and 2 flights on Sunday, with a total of the 2 flights being the determination of the winners. On the 25th and 26th of August, on the other side of the sheet, will be our regular full stunt contest. 4 events consisting of classic, arc, PA, and old time, with the same prize set up as the others. So those of you who are in reasonable driving distance to Sharon/transfer PA, please help yourself to a flyer. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. All right, I want to let you know there's still some lost and found items. Nobody's picked up their drug paraphernalia yet. The cameras are running, so we'll try to find out who belonged to those. Guys, you've been wonderful. Let's fly safe. If I could have William Davis and Watt Moore on Circle 1 for ladies' basic flight first, and then we'll go right immediately into beginner over there. Fly safe, guys. Thank you. Also.
All right, ready to go to work? Jack-o'-bones first. Let's go get them off.
At 17th or 18th. So
okay, so you could be shooting video for me. Okay, we got a flight here to warm up the judges.
The airplanes are down here, the handles will be up here, and I can't find the goddamn pool tester. I just had it here and set that.
Pete, you don't need it. Experts don't need that.
Yeah, I know. Until something happens and they say,
boing! Yeah, experts don't need it, trust me. Our launch person is the lovely Gracie, who's going to be giving Jonathan Bark a free flying lesson. I don't know if it's going to be free, but he's going to get a lesson in life or something, somewhere down the road. Try to do. Ken Tyser's going to try to shoot some. I'm going to try to get some with the tripod. Jonathan's going to shoot some. We're just going to have to see what we get by the end of the day and try to cut out anything that's really awful. And there's usually plenty left on the scrap room floor. Now I think, if I'm wrong, I may be wrong, Rich Jacobone, they're going to give him the first flight of the day so he can go get his car, which I think is repaired, but I don't know, but that would relieve him of having to hang around all day. So we'll find out where this is going. Looks like it's pretty nice air right now. Pretty decent anyway. Probably in the low 70s now, due to go to the high 70s or low 80s. Right now, just a hint of a breeze, maybe even no breeze. We'll see if they're backing up once 2 or 3 of the guys into the round, if they start backing up or they keep backing up. We have 2 Nats judges. One is Rich Peabody. Les Dimmitt was supposed to be here, but I don't think he could make it. He had some family issues. Maybe he had to cancel at the last minute. Both of the guys have judged the Nats many times, very qualified. Yeah, well, it looks like we may have dead air if he's fishing around to find the air now. That's usually not good. Now the way this works is the people that get, I gotta go look and see when I'm up. The people that get the early flights, say the first 10, they get the last 10. So in other words, if Rich Jacobone has the first flight this morning, he'll have the last flight tomorrow. Not sure what that's worth, or if it's worth doing or having or whatever. At this meet, there's been no pattern at all as to having a first flight or last flight being some kind of an advantage, and almost always everybody gets the same air, maybe with few exceptions over the 11 years I've come here. Maybe concerned he's running out of fuel here. I'm not sure. I'd be forgetting that. Good choice. Good choice. Don't want to start the day off with a whack-a-dooley.
That's actually maybe around 4 o'clock I would have picked up on that one. 11-foot seal. Yeah, that's great. And then the old shop became the park room. The old shop became the park room. Wow. I built. This is good for a guy that's retiring and getting out of everything. I built these big tall shells that go right down the middle of the old shop now, and everything's, you know. Oh, that's great. That's great.
And see, as opposed to that, I am on the opposite end of that. As my shop downsizes and my phone stops ringing and those Social Security checks come in without having to work for them, I'm thinking,
Well,
who would want to do this for a living?
The phone has pretty well stopped ringing.
I've never gotten a check in the mail without having to make a carbon fiber something. So this is a new experience. Carbon fiber Social Security, you know.
I've discovered the forward button on the email. So I just forward it. Anybody sends me an order, I know to forward it to them.
Not me.
Any order 2 hours later.
The best one is...
I got the doors were...
have you ever had this phone call? Hi, I want to talk to you for a minute. I got a problem. But if I hang up, I'll call you right back. Don't, because my boss may see that I'm on the phone. So, and the call is getting really rushed. It's like, I painted my plane, and you know, that Brodak dope is, you know, the tin is too expensive. I use dishwater, but it'll work. My friend told me that. I saw it on Sukasun, so blah, 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 blah. And then the next call is, oh, I'll call you back. 20 minutes later, you hear,
I'm under a blanket.
the boss is eating a salami sandwich. I got to get this call in right now. And these dimwits that call Rich Oliver, you can't imagine. If he puts it on speaker, you got to hold your breath. You got to have your hand ready. You know, I don't want to use Rojet fuel. I can buy fuel for $5 a gallon. Why should I pay for that expensive fuel?
Yeah, the engine to run. Page number 5 of his Carolina.
Don't think so, yeah.
Don't call me.
Yeah.
And don't buy from me if, number 1, you think you know anything.
Yeah, I think your glow plug is dead. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I got my PA shoes on.
You got your PA shoes?
I only wear them on PA day.
Okay. PA day.
Doesn't really help me much.
I got my Social Security shoes. I only get them when I go and cash my check.
Back in 1955 and 6 to 7, that was a big day when you got your new Converse.
Yeah.
Went down to the sporting goods store.
Everybody should be on Social Security when they're young so they can enjoy it. And then when you're old, you have to work.
I'll tell you what everybody should have when they're young.
$7.99 at Ross. Wearing you out?
First official flight of the day is Rich Jack.
He hasn't run that in so damn long.
It's dry.
Yeah. It's dry.
Choke it, Rich.
Hey, when you come to contest, be prepared, will you?
Yeah, yeah. If you were in California, we'd throw you off the field.
Experts are allowed.
Us West Coasters are always prepared.
I'm going to introduce you as a proposed winner.
When did heckling?
We're not running Brodaks for the benefit of amateurs, you know.
Everybody likes silver plate.
Everybody should be a world champion.
Yeah,
before they have to
easy
throw
guys.
that.
Easy guys. Hey, easy. He's had enough problems.
Yeah.
We're just learning up for you, John. Is the battery shot? I propose that for next year we go to the streets department and ask them for a one-way sign.
What happens is,
And the wrong way sign.
we try to finish that, you know, the way Wendy does it, and left the, you know, full coat of silver before it went right under the stove plate. You can't do that. It just doesn't work anymore. It might have with dope, you know, 20 years ago, but somehow the dope now, silver is. I don't know why.
You gotta sand it first?
Yeah, you gotta get silver off now. I mean, 20 years ago, silver didn't lift like it does now. But it
I was
lifts.
gonna say, with automotive here, we see that all the time. You put that.
Okay, they've reshuffled all the order, and we don't even know what it is. I'm 7th, and what I'm going to try to do is put the camera on a tripod to get some of these flights, but I don't know which ones we're going to get. Again, some people have dropped out, and Rich has dropped down, so. All right, and we're just going to try to set the camera. After this flight is going to be Rich Jacobone, and then we don't know the order, but I think it's Buddy Weeder. It's Bob Dixon then, or Tom, one of the Dixons, and I'm 7th. So you can just start counting backwards if we don't run out of tape. I guess we're going to find out. And most of the people can tell just by looking at the plane. And I guess this is as good as we're going to get it because we really can't get, maybe I can get more downwind. Let me see if I can move this camera downwind. All right, again, everything recording flights is a compromise because we can't have the judges standing in front of the camera. We can't have the sun at our back. We want the sun at our back as much as possible. Well, I guess we're just going to have to I'm gonna have to settle on something here. Let's see if that's gonna work. And again, that flight order might change. I'm not sure. Yeah, under these conditions, this is as close as we're gonna get. The problem here is I don't know. Again, we're trying to back up, but we run the hill runs downhill, so that's a little bit of a problem too. Let's see what we can get here. I think that's as good as we're going to get it for now. Okay, so what looks like is going to happen, what we're going to try to do is I may be able to even move this back another 2 or 3 feet, but I think we got most of the maneuvers in here and we're as close to the judges as we can get. So what we're going to do is leave this camera tripoded and shoot footage. Ramo's son is going to shoot some footage for us with his other American camera, and we have a PAL camera, and then try to blend them all together in some kind of, when we get back to the shop, some kind of entertainment.